What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Winnipeg Jets week in, week out review. It's been a little bit of a crazy week with the trade deadline going on. The Jets have added some players, they've sold some players, and it's just been a crazy week overall, and we're going to get into it right now. So if you've never seen a Jets week in, week out review from me before, basically what we do is we go over the last week of Jets hockey and talk about what the Jets did well and maybe didn't do so well. And then we look at the next week of Jets hockey, who their opponents are, and what they're looking like in the standings. So let's start off with the Boston game last week. I really liked the Jets' first period in this game. They really kept everything to the outside. Boston didn't really have a lot of great opportunities. The Jets played a better first period. However, going into the second, the Jets completely fell flat. I'm not sure what they were doing out there. Not a lot of urgency, and Boston was up 2-0. Early in the third period, the Jets completely turned it around. They actually dominated most of the third period, as Evgeny Sveshnikov's shot was tipped by Lowry. Shortly after, Ehlers came in and scored. So now you're looking at it, and it's a 2-2 hockey game. The Jets have all the momentum, and this game really came down to bad reffing. I don't like to pin that on games a lot. I think it's a pretty bad excuse for a lot of the times, but this time was definitely the case. The reffing's been a little shaky all year this year across the league, but this one was really bad. And Taylor Hall came out on the power play, made it 3-2 Boston. And at the end of the game, with the Jets net empty, Josh Morrissey was trying to keep the puck into the offensive zone. He was clearly tripped up, no call, and it was Charlie McAvoy putting the game away with an empty net goal. And that was it. Boston won 4-2. It was a tough loss for the Jets, trying to get back in the fight in the Wildcard. But I really thought this was Andrew Copp's last game as a Jet. With the trade deadline looming, I thought they would hold him out, maybe even Stastny. But no players sat out against Chicago for asset protection. So that's where we'll hop into next with the game against Chicago. Nikolai Ehlers has scored in the first period to make it 1-0 Winnipeg. That was his 18th of the year. But early in the second, Taves and Strome scored 23 seconds apart to make it 2-1. And then a very unlikely hero in this game, Jansen Harkins, scores his 6th and his 7th goal midway through the second period. And then Connor and Morrissey would score late into the second period. The Hawks did have a little bit of a resurgence at the end, where Taylor Radish and Philip Kurashev scored. However, Blake Wheeler scored the empty net goal, and the Jets walk away with a 6-4 win. This was the last game before the trade deadline, so I thought this was a little bit important, depending on which way they wanted to go. At maybe a week ago, I was convinced they were sellers, but now, at the time of that win, I thought, okay, well, maybe it is time to buy. I did think that Andrew Copp would leave either way, and he did. As we know, he went to the Rangers for a pretty good package, 2 seconds, a 5th, and a prospect. But they did add Zach Sanford after this game, which I really liked. I didn't like it at first, and in my trade deadline review video, I seem a little bit down about it, but now I do really like that move. I just think I was a little upset about the Paul Stastny thing not being moved, because I thought we could have gotten a good return for him, but that's okay. It sounds like he is interested in re-signing next year, so I'm okay with that if that's the case. But the Jets now going to play the Vegas Golden Knights. Adam Lowry out with COVID, so this is a big game without one of your better depth guys. And in the first period, the Jets were getting thrashed. I think the shots at the end of the first period were 17-4 or 18-4. Definitely not what you're trying to be doing if you are fighting for a spot, especially with a team 4 points ahead of you in the standings for the wildcard spot. But in the second period, the Jets finally woke up. Dubois scored on the power play, and Scheifele chipped in near the end of the period. In the third period, the Jets took control, and Neil Pionk scored his 3rd. It was like the first goal in 40 games for him. And then Nikolai Ehlers scored 2 minutes after, his 19th of the year, 5-game goal streak. And the Jets went on to win 4-0, a 42-save shutout for Connor Hellebuyck. He stood on his head in that first period and throughout the game. Definitely the Jets' best player tonight. And I really like that from Connor Hellebuyck, because he's had a bit of a rough patch the last couple months. He's been overworked, and I'm really happy for him. His 3rd shutout of the year, and it was a really great performance. And shout out to Zach Sanford and Mason Appleton, their first game with the Jets this season since the trade deadline, and they were on a line with Paul Stastny in the middle, and I really like that line. I thought Sanford played great. For a bigger guy, I didn't expect him to be able to move that much and that quickly, but man, he was shifty, and he set up Appleton a couple times. The puck just kind of bounced on him, wasn't able to get the chance that he wanted, but I really like that line, and I hope when Lowry comes back, I hope they keep that line together. Maybe we'll see how the next few games go, but maybe Lowry is the fourth centerman now? Maybe? I doubt it, but we'll have to see how that all unfolds in the coming weeks. Now, looking at the wildcard standings, Dallas is in the last spot right now, 62 games played and 73 points. The Jets are at 70 points with 64 games played, so they are chasing Dallas, and it is going to be an uphill battle. Goaltending's going to have to be key here coming down the stretch, and Connor Hellebuck's going to need to play some of his best hockey of the year if the Jets want to make the playoffs, but I think they've got a shot now. But now the Jets, moving on to next week, they do have a lighter schedule. It starts with the Ottawa Senators, and then right after on the Friday, it's the Columbus Blue Jackets. That is the first time that the Jets are going to be seeing Patrick Laine. He was hurt the last time that the Columbus played the Jets, so we will see him. It'll be a little bit emotional for sure, and that'll be a lot of fun. After that, it's the Arizona Coyotes, who are obviously not a very good team, just like Ottawa and Columbus. All three of those are must-win games. And another bad team to add to this, on Wednesday, the Jets will play the Sabres. That is another game that they cannot afford to drop. The Jets have lost too many games against bad teams this year. Now is the time to cash in. It's time to make a push. And it's so important that they go out and win all four of these, or at least get a point, go 3-0-1, but they definitely need at least 6 out of 8 here, and I think that's what it's going to take to get it into the playoffs here. Pretty much every game is a must-win now. Yeah, but the Jets season has really been a roller coaster. My honest opinion, I don't know if they'll make the playoffs. I think they have a really good shot at it now, with winning their last couple and beating Vegas twice. We'll have to see how it goes down the stretch, but I really hope they find a way to make it in there. Maybe they can make some noise. It's going to be tough to beat Colorado, but if they do it, I mean, at that point, you can beat anybody, right? It's going to be a wild last 18 games here, but that's where I'm going to end the video. Thanks everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment. How do you think the Jets are going to do down the stretch here? Do you think they'll be able to beat these bad teams, or do you think that they're going to go into a bit of a slump here and their season's going to die out? I hope it's the first part, but yeah, so hope you enjoyed. Have a great day, everybody. Go Jets, go.